Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head to Aycliffe in County Durham once again, which is of course home to the Steam Machine Brewing Company, and we've got another new beer that they've released quite recently. So this guy is called Sunset with Friends. It's the first tall boy I've seen from them, and it comes in at 8.5%, a double dry hopped Imperial IPA. So it should be a really interesting one. There's Citra, Mosaic, Amarillo and Simcoe in this guy, so a very good hop bill. And as I commented with the Steam Machine the last time, they seem to have made kind of great strides forward when it comes to their lighter styles of beer. I always thought they had a bit of a niche when it came to the dark beers, you know, with their treacle toffee stout or whatever it was called. Actually I forget which one it was. Then they had the coconut porter and things like that, which again was a very good beer. But their IPAs that they've produced recently have been really quite good, so I'm certainly looking forward to trying this one, because this will be a bit different from what we've had before. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, of course, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, a link to my other reviews that I've done from Steam Machine before. No doubt I will do a couple more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the home page and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the English beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Steam Machine Brewing then, onto my brewery nose. So as I mentioned to you, Steam Machine Brewery are based in Newton Aycliffe, and they were founded back in 2015 by Nick and Gulen Smith. Gulen, of course, is from Turkey, but they started the company up with a small business loan after they returned from the Channel Islands, where Nick had been working as a science teacher. So the brewery itself is apparently an old wartime munitions factory, and this is also where they have their brew room, and you know, you can go in, try the beers, and I think they've also got a kind of kitchen there where you can order burgers and stuff like that as well. But over the last few years they've been gradually expanding, and in the early days they actually received mentoring from Richard Branson after Nick shared a train journey with them. So they've had a very kind of solid base when they started up. Like I said, initially it was their dark beers that really started, that I really thought they had the niche for, but in recent times they've really kind of stepped up with their IPAs and stuff like that. I've been really impressed with the IPAs. And things like the New England session that I had from them recently, I was really quite impressed with. So really looking forward to this one. Like I say, this is the one of the first two tall boy cans that I've seen. There is a blue one as well, which I think is like a coconut porter. Like Nick seems to absolutely love coconut, so there's quite a few of the beers have that in it. But this one is, as I say, this is the first tall boy that they've released along with the coconut Imperial, the coconut IPA, which I'll see if I can get a hold of that at some point. But this was the one that I was really quite interested to try. So yeah, that's all you really need to know about the brewery just now. Do make sure you go out and check them, check them out if you find yourself in Newton Aycliffe, because the burgers that they do are meant to be pretty good, and you'll get some really nice beer down there as well. But as I say, an interesting brewery. The people that run it are really nice, and you know, that's what you want when it comes to craft beer. So I'll just let you have a little close look at the artwork of this one then before we open it up. There you can see this one's a little bit different from the other ones because it is a bit brighter in colour. It says on the back here, a big tropical sunburst of an Imperial IPA leading with exotic flavours including mango, passion fruit and papaya from the heady blend of Citra, Mosaic, Amarillo and Simcoe hops. But yeah, nicely presented beer, this one. I do like how it comes across. 3.79, or was it 7.4? 3.74 UK units apparently. So this is a nice way to kind of kick off the football for the day. So I'm reviewing this one just before the football starts. But yeah, nicely presented beer, this one. I do like the Steam Machine style of artwork that they do. But let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting then. A good hop bill in this, like I said. Ooh. There we are. I think this is going to be a West Coast style IPA, just going by the look of it. But yeah, it looks quite nice, this beer actually. So yeah, with this one, as you can see, it's poured and a kind of darker, I'm not sure if it's, you can't really say if that's blood orange or not. I'm not sure. I don't think that's quite a blood orange colour. There's a solid frothy, there's a solid finger or so of a frothy, I would say kind of fawn coloured head on this one. It's not cream, it's not white. I would definitely say it's more of a fawn colour. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and quite a few little ones heading up towards the bottom of that head there. So overall, you know, it looks really nice. So let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on with this beer. In fact, if I put my fingers behind the glass, you can see, I think just because there's a bit of condensation in the glass, but this beer does have a bit of transparency to it. Like I say, I reckon this one is going to be a more West Coast style IPA. But let's take a closer look at the aroma then and see how we get on. Ooh. Yeah. So the malt base in this one, there's definitely English malt in here. It's got a nice sort of bready malt base. You can definitely pick up a little bit of a biscuity kind of caramel thing to it. I wonder if there's Maris Otter in this actually, because it does have a little bit of that kind of grainy, bready sort of English malty quality to it. Yeah, it's definitely the malt base in this one is quite interesting. As I say, I reckon there's a bit of Maris Otter in there. It's got a nice kind of almost wholemeal bready quality to it. A little bit of biscuit and caramel, but then the fruits in this really start to take over the aroma. It's almost got a little touch of a kind of medicinal quality to it as well, actually. But in terms of the fruity side of things, take a little bit of it up my nose, why not? Yeah. Oh, that's annoying. Always happens sometimes when you're doing beer videos. Just take this side. Yeah, so with the fruits on this one, definitely there's a wee touch of grapefruit in there, I think. The mangoes are coming out nicely. The oranges from the Amarillo as well. The mangoes come from the Citra, of course. The oranges come from the Amarillo. And there's a little bit, you know, the Mosaic will give you a little bit of a tangerine, but mainly it's a kind of berryish fruit that you get from that, like a sort of blueberry. And I think there's a good bit of blueberry in that. You can definitely pick up a little bit of that kind of blueberry quality. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, for me the aroma is mangoes and oranges mainly, but there is a little bit of that blueberry on the end. And there's maybe a wee bit of the passion fruit from the Simcoe, of course. But I think there's a touch of grapefruit in there. The grapefruit will come from the Citra a little bit as well. But yeah, as I always say, take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of it. In terms of the kind of floral qualities of the hops, it leans a little bit more towards the grassy side of things. But yeah, it's quite an interesting one because it definitely, in terms of aromas, it makes me think, yeah, there's a kind of big English malt base in this one, but it's got the American hoppy qualities to it, and in terms of that, it's not the most pungent aroma you're going to come across. It leans a little bit more towards the kind of fruity, juicy side of things, I would say, and you have to go into it a little bit and sugar it up to get all these different things out of it. But yeah, as I always say, take a bit of time and enjoy the aroma, but let's get stuck into this one now then. So this one is called Sunset with Friends. It's a double dry hopped Imperial IPA from the guys at Steam Machine down in Newton Aycliffe in County Durham in England. Let's get stuck in. Slange it, skull. That's an interesting one, that. It's... Yeah, this has the smoothness that you'd expect from like a... You know, if someone gave me this beer, if I blind tasted this beer, I have to admit I wouldn't think it would come out of a can, to be quite honest with you. It's got that almost kind of cask condition smoothness to it. What I will say though, it takes a couple of sips to, you know, for this beer to open up a little bit. But the malt base in this one's really, really smooth, so you can feel that sort of bready quality, that just blankets the middle of your palate. And as you go further and further into the aftertaste on this one, a little bit of that kind of grainy quality just starts to push its way out of the beer. The little grainy qualities start to push their way out as well. But yeah, in the middle of your palate you get a little bit of a caramelly flavour, and then as you go out towards the edge of the tongue it's a little bit biscuity, but there's a nice kind of boozy caramel note down the middle of your tongue. It does have, you can feel the booze in this one a little bit. I would say it maybe needs just a little touch more sweetness in the malt base to kind of cover that a little bit, but the malt base, the way that the bready qualities in this malt base come out, is really nice. I just think it needs a little touch more, kind of caramel or something like that, just to give it a little bit more sweetness. But it's really smooth, and I do like how this beer kind of goes about its thing. So in terms of the hoppiness then, back corners of the palate, there's a little touch of earthiness there. The earthiness that you get will likely be from the Mosaic. The Mosaic I always remember having just this little touch of earthiness, but as you come further forward along the sides of the tongue, the earthiness does spread forward a little bit, but then as you get towards the front corners of the palate, you've got a nice little bit of floral aromaticity. It's not quite spicy on this one, but there, you can just feel a little bit of that hoppy kick, and then round the very front curve of the tongue, there's a little bit of a nice kind of lighter grassy note, I would say. But yeah, of course, just behind the front curve of the palate, that's where you get that little oily bubble, where those nice kind of fruity, juicy esters start to come out of the beer. So with this one, I would say it's kicking off. I think there's a little touch of the grapefruit there and the passion fruit. That's kind of forming the base layer of the fruits in this beer. Let's get the rest of it into the glass. The thing with this beer is that I would say it's remarkably easy to drink. For 8.5%, it is really easy to drink. But yeah, the grapefruits and the passion fruits kind of forming the base there. The mango is really coming out on top of that, I would say, and the orange is kind of mixing with the mango. So yeah, it's starting off with the sort of Simcoe, a little bit of the grapefruit from the Citra as well, and then the Citra mangoes are really coming out. The Amarillo oranges are really in there as well. And as you go further and further into the aftertaste of this one, that's when you start to get a little bit of the blueberry notes from the Mosaic that's coming out in this one. For me, it really is a bit of blue. It really does become quite blueberry-ish in the aftertaste. I would say that about this one. There's a little bit of the lychee, which again is one of these complexities that you can get from the Citra, but I mean overall it's a really it is a nice beer, this one. 8.5%, it's ridiculously easy to drink. You would never, I mean, if you're drinking this beer, you would never know that it's 8.5%. In fairness, you can taste a little bit of the booze in there, but it's not, it's just, for an 8.5% beer, it's kind of, it doesn't give you that indication that it is that strength, if that makes sense. And it comes across in its mouthfeel sort of like a kind of cask conditioned beer. The flavours in this one are certainly nice. My only little critique I would have of it is I think it just needs a little touch more either caramel or biscuit in the malt base to kind of balance that out a little bit. Maybe a little touch more kind of floral bitterness or something like that would be quite good as well, like maybe adding Chinook to it or something as well. But I mean, in terms of the flavour profiles that it has, the bready malt base that it has, I really like that. The sort of biscuity caramel things I quite like, or the biscuity side of it as well, I like that. I think it just needs to be a touch sweeter, and the way the fruits are coming out is quite nice as well. Overall, as I say, it's a nice beer, and it is cool. I think this might actually be the first double IPA that they've canned, if you like, so it's a good first effort, I have to say, and I'm sure, knowing Nick, he will play around with these recipes. And it does, I would say about this beer, when you first taste it, it does take a couple of sips for it to actually open up, so bear that in mind when you try this one for yourself. So in terms of the mouthfeel then, I would say mid-bodied with this one, maybe actually pushing the full-bodied, because it's quite an oily beer, this overall. The carbonation's very, very smooth in this one, and that really gives the impression of quite an oily beer. The malt base, like I say, is very, very smooth. It does have a little bit of sweetness to it, but as I say, I think it just needs a little touch more to it. The IBUs in this one, the hoppy bitterness, it's definitely not the most bitter beer you're going to come across. I would think that the IBUs in this one are somewhere around 30, so it's really not that bitter a beer compared to what you can get. A lot of nice juicy fruity character, though. The way the fruits come out in this beer is really, really nice, so I would say that about it. It's a nice beer, this. One or two little tweaks and I think it really could be a quite outstanding one, I would say. But it's cool to see them do their first Imperial IPA, and they've got a nice start with this one, and I'm glad that I got to try this. I like the way the fruitiness comes across, and I have to admit, I do like the sort of bready malt bases that they use at Steam Machine. I think this one just needs a little touch more sweetness to it, like I said. But overall, a nice beer, and I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again. I think on tap, you know, as a keg conditioned beer, this one would really shine. I think it needs just a little touch more crispness to it, and it would just be spot on. But yeah, really nice beer, this one. I'm glad that I got to try it. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of these kind of Imperial IPAs from Steam Machine. It's cool to see them starting to experiment a little bit more on the lighter side of things. As I said, they're very solid when it comes to the dark side of things, when it comes to like porters and stouts and stuff like this. They've produced some really good sort of New England IPAs recently, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they do with producing the bigger things as well, because for me this one's definitely leaning a little bit more towards the west coast side of things, which is nice to see because there's so many hazy IPAs and stuff out there. But this beer has a really distinctive English malt base to it, and I do like the fact that Steam Machine want to kind of keep that element of locality to their beers as well. So yeah, definitely a brewery that you want to check out. If you're interested in North East England beer, then Steam Machine are one that you do want to check out. Make sure you check out the Treacle Toffee Stout. That's a really awesome beer. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Steam Machine as well, and I'm sure I'll catch you guys soon with more reviews from these guys. So until the next time, Slans just now, check out my social media, and I will catch you guys very soon. The Sunset with Friends, a double dry hopped Imperial IPA from Steam Machine Brewery in Newton Aycliffe in County Durham in England. Until the next time, Slans just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Skål.